Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering.
Hey everybody, Graham here, joined by Wheeler.
Thank you for having me, Graham. It's great to be here.
And today, we are going to go through my pre-release kit for the Tarkir Dragonstorm pre-release. Now, this is something that I haven't seen them do in some years now, but we have themed pre-release kits again. So you get to choose your clan at your Tarkir Dragonstorm pre-release, and there are 5 to choose from. I have chosen Abzan today, because I like it. And what that means is that ordinarily, one of these pre-release kits will have 6 booster packs of the set that you're playing, but for Tarkir Dragonstorm, you got 5 of those and then 1 themed pack specific to your clan. So, very excited to get into it. Let's do that. I also really like the scale detail on the rippy bit.
It's like a dragon.
Yeah. We live on, it says.
Very Abzan.
Mm-hmm. Got some punch-out tokens.
The Abzan are known for their counters.
Yeah. Black, yellow, and green spin down.
You know what it is.
Like I said, 5 packs and the themed pack. Now, I believe your promo rare isn't necessarily guaranteed to be on color for your clan, but I don't know. Well, then let's see what I got. I've got the Sibsig Ceremony. Black, black, black for a legendary enchantment. Creature spells you cast cost 2 less to cast, and whenever a creature you control enters, if you cast it, destroy it, and then make a 2/2 zombie.
We haven't had a zombie druid since Invasion? Quagmire druid?
I believe you.
Tell me in the comments below if I'm a genius. Just if I'm a genius.
All your creatures are cheaper, but your creatures immediately die and go to your graveyard and you get a zombie instead. Which I guess is great in Sultai if you want to fill up your bin with stuff, but I don't know how I feel about it in Abzan. But I do have an Abzan rare as well. Warden of the Grove.
Oh.
2 and a green for a 2/2 Hydra. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Nice. Whenever another non-token creature you control enters, it endures X, where X is the number of counters on this creature. Which endure is put X +1/+1 counters on the creature that entered, or create an XX white spirit creature token. Got a Sandstep Citadel, which is great. That's the land that taps for all 3 colors of the clan. Marshal of the Lost, a 3/3 orc warrior with death touch. And whenever you attack, target creature gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of attacking creatures.
Oh.
That's very cool. Skirmish Rhino. It's little baby siege rhino. White, black, green for a 3/4 rhino with trample, and when it enters, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Reputable merchant who's working out of a tortoise. What? Each of the pips is either 2 generic mana or 1 of these colors.
Yes.
It's a 2/2, and when it enters or dies, you put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control.
My favorite kind of hybrid mana.
Yeah.
Paying 6 mana for this card.
Abzan Devotee. Dog. 1 and a black for a 2/1, and then you can filter your generic mana into Abzan colors, but only once each turn, and you can also just get it back from your graveyard.
Wow, dog.
Fortress Kinguard, more dog. 1 and a white for a 1/2. When it enters, it endures 1. So it's either it's a 2/3 or it's a 1/2, and you get a 1/1 spirit. Sand Skitter Outrider. 2/1 menace. When it enters, it endures 2.
Okay.
Great. So it's either a 2/1 menace and a 2/2, or a 4/3 menace for 4.
Okay, pretty powerful.
I'm super on board. Feral Deathgorger is a 3/5 dragon for 5 and a black with flying and death touch, and when this creature enters, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. But it has an omen.
A good one or a bad one?
I don't know. Let's find out together.
All right.
It's got Dusk Sight. For 1 and a black, put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Draw a card. But then being an omen, you then shuffle this card into your library.
Huh. That is pretty good.
Yeah.
And you draw a card?
Yeah.
So you put a counter on a thing, draw a fresh card,
Yeah.
the Death Georger gets put back into your deck so you can George another day? Wow,
It
annoying.
lives to George again, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Osseous Exhale. Bone Breath. 1 and a white for an instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may behold a dragon.
If you want.
If you want. Which, beholding a dragon is, you may choose a dragon you control or reveal a dragon card from your hand. And I love choosing when you control. You just sort of go, I cast this. Also, dragon.
Hey, check that out.
It deals 5 damage to an attacking or blocking creature. If a dragon was beheld, you gain 2 life. We've got Dragonstorm Globe. 3-mana artifact. Each dragon you control enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it, and it taps for any color of mana.
Okay.
Storm Plane Detainment. 2 and a white for enchantment. It's an O-ring effect, so when it enters, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Always good. And finally, Scoured Barrens, the white and black tap land, and you gain a life. We're still Abzan, but we're definitely in the
I mean, that's easy.
the white-black realm.
I don't know if that's something you can say after you open the pack that is going to be exclusively Abzan. So like, okay, after pack 1, I'm looking Abzan.
What I mean is, it's undeniable that this pack was Abzan. There just wasn't much green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's the only green card.
Yeah. I hope to play Abzan because I think that they're neat, but, you know, we've got 5 more packs and they will tell the story.
You could even go up to 4 color, 5 color, or be an absolute sicko and just play like 2. Or 1. How cursed is playing 1 color in this sealed environment?
Ugh. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's open the other 5 packs, and we'll sort of zip through this, and then we'll see what we come up with. Ooh, let's look at our rare for this first pack. It's a Temur Saga, Roar of Endless Song.
Ooh.
Chapters 1 and 2 make a 5/5 elephant.
Oh.
And then Chapter 3, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn.
I like to figure out the rares that I'm going to die to at this stage of, the pre-release.
Ooh! I found another card we might be losing to.
Oh, okay.
But also one that I can play in this deck.
Uh-huh.
It's Ugin.
Oh.
Eye of the Storms.
Oh.
7 mana Planeswalker. When you cast this spell, exile up to 1 target permanent that's 1 or more colors. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, you do that again.
Is there a backside?
He's 2-sided.
He's 2-sided.
But it's the same card, but on one side he's cuter. 7 loyalty, +2, gain 3 life, draw a card.
Okay.
0, add triple colorless. -11, search your library for any number of colorless non-land cards, exile them, and then shuffle, and then until end of turn, you can cast them without paying their mana costs.
And it's 7 mana.
Yeah.
And Tron adds 7 mana.
Oh, interesting. We have a dragon with Omen, but the dragon is green and the Omen is black. Petty Revenge, destroy target creature with power 3 or less. And then the dragon itself is 5 mana for a 3/3 that when it enters, destroy an enchantment or artifact.
Oh.
That's
very good.
very good. Got another white rare here. This one looks like it's at home in Jeskai, but maybe we play it. It's Sage of the Skies. 2 and a white for a 2/3 human monk. When you cast this spell, if you've cast another spell this turn, copy this spell. The token becomes a copy, and it has flying and lifelink.
Wait, how big is this?
It's a 2/3. So if you cast anything first, and then you cast this, then you get 2/3 lifelink for 3.
That's so annoying.
Yeah. Oh, 2 rares in this pack. We've got Inevitable Defeat, which is a Mardu instant. 1 red, white, black, can't be countered. Exile non-land permanent. Its controller loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. And Scavenger Regent. So it's a 4/4 dragon for 4 with flying and a ward cost of discard a card. But it also has an omen called Exude Toxin, which is X black black. Each non-dragon creature gets -X until end of turn.
Oh, good.
So it's a wrath. The thing is that dragon isn't even that expensive.
No, this is just, it's reasonable on both sides. And it's only a single pip of black mana. That's kind of an important thing to look at for a lot of these cards.
Honestly, where do you even begin with building a sealed deck in a format like this?
I would start at the lands, basically seeing what can I reliably cast.
Right.
So a majority of our lands fall under the Abzan camp, which is good. We open the Abzan pack, we have more Abzan cards, and we have more Abzan lands. This might not always be the case for people opening their pools.
In the interest of sort of laying stuff out, I'm going to move blue and red to the side.
You're not set in these 3 colors, but We have opened more cards in these 3 colors. We have opened rares in these 3 colors, and we have the mana base to reliably support a 3-color deck.
Yeah. Ugin can stay here because Ugin's in the deck.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then how do you like to go through and determine what's a playable card? Like, how do you evaluate when it's a brand new set, you haven't seen the cards, and you're sitting down there?
I tried to separate them first off between creature and non-creature, threat and not a threat.
I'll do that right
now.
now.
And then from there, I kind of need to look at the cards and go like, are these the kind of creatures that kill people, or are these the kind of creatures that stop me from getting killed?
Okay.
And you can, make a deck with a combination of those two, or at least try to use them to figure out like, am I the bad guy here?
Right.
Am I the villain? Am I the beatdown?
I've separated them into non-creatures and creatures, and I have the creatures right here. We've got the Fortress Kinguard that we talked about.
I like that.
Seems perfectly reasonable.
Multiple bodies.
Bearer of Glory, it's a 2-mana 2/1. During your turn, this creature has first strike, and then later you can pay 5 mana to give all your creatures +1/+1. These tend to be, honestly, pretty good effects.
I mean,
limited.
As long as they are reasonably cost.
And then let's look at our non-creatures. Lightfoot Technique, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It gains flying and indestructible until end of turn.
It's cool. I like combat tricks quite a bit. The more expensive they get, the more telegraphed they are. You get a lot of value out of combat tricks at pre-releases because not everybody knows the entire set. Some people don't know anything about the set, and there's a lot of gotcha moments.
I've got Rebellious Strike, which is the same cost, 1 and a white. Target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn and draw a card.
Okay.
So that lets a creature trade, it replaces itself. And there's also Duty Beyond Death. Again, the same cost, 1 and a white. As an additional cost, though, you sack a creature, but maybe I'm making little 1/1s I don't care about. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn, and put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That one seems like it should get in. Okay, so let's do the same then with black and with green, but we'll sort of jump to having done that, but assume a similar level of discourse. In black, we have a lot of good removal, and we also have a card that I'm keen on, which is Whale of War. It's an instant. You can choose one of these. Creatures your opponent controls get -1/-1 until end of turn, or return up to 2 target creatures from your graveyard to your hand. I love having a way to get stuff back out of my graveyard, especially in sealed, especially when it's 2 creatures for 1. This one's also an instant.
That's actually huge.
Yeah. Let's talk about the promo rare, the Sib-Sig Ceremony.
Okay.
I don't think that this is the deck that is taking advantage of this effect. I'm not going to need help putting my creatures in the graveyard.
Right, that just happens by playing Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. Black has brought us Worthy Cost, Caustic Exhale, Dragon's Prey, which are all removal. I've got the 2 Feral Deathgorgers, which put counters on stuff and replace themselves, and a Cruel Truths, which is a way to draw cards, which is also nice. We've got 2 of these Sagu Wildlings, which are a 3/3 flyer for 5. When that enters, you gain 3 life, but also their Omen is just single green mana to go looking for a basic land and put it in your hand. So that helps with stuff. We have finally some counter synergy, because we have a lot of cards that put counters on stuff or put counters on themselves. But now we have Formation Breaker here, which is a 2/1 for 2. Creatures with power less than it can't block it. And if you control a creature with a counter on it, this creature gets +1/+2. So it becomes a 3/3 for 2. Sagu Pummeler, 3 and a green for a 4/4 with reach. I do love a square green creature. 4/4 for 4. And it has reach. But it also has Renew. For 4 and a green, exile this card from your graveyard and put 2 counters and a reach counter on target creature. Activate only as a sorcery. So if this dies, you can exile it from your yard to give something else reach and some counters.
Right.
That seems very good.
That seems all right.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Speaking of getting stuff back out of your graveyard, Rite of Renewal, 4 mana sorcery. Return up to 2 target permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. I have a lot of permanents. Target player, which could be you again, shuffles up to 4 cards from their graveyard into their library. Exile Rite of Renewal. So you talked about the deck size in
Yep.
sealed, and so presumably when you're casting this, you're far enough through the game that there's some good cards you're putting back into your deck that you're hoping to draw again.
Yeah.
Or I suppose if your opponent is maybe playing Sultai, or if they have a particular graveyard theme that they care about cards in their bin, you could put them into the less threatening realm of back in their deck. You could.
Yes, you could.
Should I? If we've got 3 different monuments, one of which is potentially in colors. There's a golem that mills some cards and you gain life. I think we have enough creatures. There's a colorless dragon that's a 3/3 for 5 with flying and vigilance, and whenever it attacks, you surveil. I guess the advantage here is that it's colorless, so anybody could get a dragon. And then there's 2 Dragonstorm globes. I don't know that we need those colorless spells at the moment, because right now we already have too many cards. So this, I can do this. I can get to this point of a given pre-release. This is where I start to go, oh no, how much time do we have left in deck building?
So this is honestly, I think, the most important part is getting to this. This is the part where you just get to play the cards you want and the cards that you think will be the most fun. For instance, you have 2 of these dragon globes, and you have a bunch of dragons, and you have an Ugin that cares about you having additional colorless cards.
That's true.
So my brain says, this is a pre-release, baby.
Yeah.
I'm going to play these dragons.
The Ugin, whenever you cast a colorless spell, exile a permanent that's 1 or more colors.
Yeah.
That makes it really tempting to run both dragon globes.
Yeah.
I'm very tempted to go that route.
And for what it's worth, as you start cutting some of these other cards that you have, like if we are dedicating ourselves to the dragon roll, the curve does start to look like it is more open to the idea of spending turn 3 casting this globe.
These are 6 drops, these are 5 drops, these are all dragons. These all have omens as well. These are my other 5 drops. There's the Loxodon Battle Priest that we talked about, and there's an Inspirited Vanguard, which is a 3/2 for 5, but whenever it enters or attacks, you endure 2. And I don't know...
I like both.
I like both of these, honestly, yeah. These also are non-creature spells way over here in 1. These are non-creature spells way over here in 2, right? Like if we assume that we're casting all of our omens as omens first, then the curve looks much lower.
Right. It's all about optics, Graham. It's all about optics.
All right, let's look at our 4 drops here. We've got these 2 Marshal of the Lost, which 3/3 Death Touch, and they make a creature bigger on attacks. That's probably pretty good.
Lock it in.
We've got that big beast, which I think is pretty good. Oh, and our rare Omen Dragon.
Yeah, that one's not bad.
Nightblade Brigade, it's a 1/3 Death Touch, mobilize 1. When it enters, you surveil 1. It seems like a very good blocker, and it is only 3.
Death Toucher's not bad.
Death Toucher's not bad. And then back in the 2s, Formation Breaker, Traveling Botanist helps looking for land. It's also just a 2/3. I don't know that we need the fixing that this dog provides.
I don't mind the Kinguard because having something to play early on is nice. This can also be a good target for the Feral Deathgorger. And I have a feeling that given the amount of cards that produce tokens, specifically 1/1s, you are going to want to have 2/3s. 2/3s are really good at trading with 1/1s and just blocking very efficiently.
How many creatures and Ugin are we down to now? 18, 19, 20. That's only room for 3 more cards. So probably we're going to be cutting some more creatures.
We are going to be cutting some more
But we should look at the non-creatures quickly as well.
Let's take a look.
So Caustic Exhale, it's cheaper with a dragon, but at its worst, it's still only 2 mana for a creature to get -3/3 until end of turn.
This is really good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So
yeah, we're playing that.
We have Dragon's Prey. It costs 2 more to cast if it targets a dragon, but it just destroys something. And then we've got the 2 copies of Osseous Exhale, which may be just 1 copy?
I like 2.
2 copies.
Yeah, I like 2 here.
Whale of War, the instant speed, get stuff from the graveyard, or the possibility to hose a Mardu deck, I think is really good.
Yep.
All right, so what are we down to now? 20 and 28. So 5 more cuts. Do you go up in lands in this format, do you think?
I think we're fine. Because we have the double Sagu Wildling, which does find a land, as well as the Dragon Globe, which accelerates us. I think 17 plus these cards is probably where we want to be because we really want to hit our land drops. We really want to play our cards. I'm not super keen on cutting too many of these 2-drops, although this Foundation Brawler is looking less exciting to me.
The Formation Breaker?
Or Formation Breaker. I'd put 2 completely different words. The next card is this 1/3 Death Toucher. Our deck is not lacking removal. Our deck is also not even lacking Death Touchers.
Yeah, both Marshals of the Lost are also Death Touch.
Yeah. The Battle Priest is a 5-mana 4/6 that then attacks as a 5/7. Not to mention, the Vanguard is
It can't put the counter on itself.
Oh.
Yeah, another creature.
And for that reason, I'm out.
Perfect. 2 more cuts, and then we're down to 23 spells.
Gosh.
Yeah, right?
I mean, so I'm more inclined to cut Sagu Pummeler. We already have flyers. We already have cards that scale pretty well. This Hunter is a little out of place, in my opinion. I mean, you could make an argument to cut one of these globes and you're still committing to this dragon plan. Like, if you want to commit to the dragons, have a lot of fun, have the Ugin stuff, you could just play one and you don't have to feel like you've sold your soul. But 2 is pretty dope.
2 is
And we
cool.
have removal, right? We have the tools to survive.
And we've got Ugin.
I still haven't fully processed this card.
It's so messed up.
It's very good.
If it's your first pre-release, or even if you're fairly new to the game, having come back in the last several years, this is the first one that you will encounter that is like this. And I picked Abzan and I built Abzan because I opened the cards that worked for it. But, like we said earlier, don't necessarily feel that you have to build the clan that you chose because you might be opening powerful cards in other colors.
But if you are going to this as your first pre-release or a returning one, or even if you just feel maybe a little overwhelmed by all the options, it is a good kind of track to fall back on. Is just go, the box says Abzan, I'm building Abzan, and you'll probably come out with something that you'll be able to cast spells, take game actions, and have a lot of fun doing so.
And also, it's the pre-release, so ask around.
Yeah.
Like, ask other people, be like, hey, how would you build this? Right? Like, exactly like I just did with Wheeler's help. And Wheeler, thank you so much for joining me for this today. Until we talk to you again, I have been Graham, joined by Wheeler.
Thank you for having me, Graham. It was great to be here.
And hopefully you enjoy your Tarkir Dragonstorm pre-release. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you next time.